No, your ears and eyes are not deceiving you. I am back! And you may be asking yourself appropriately, which show was good enough, awesome enough, powerful enough to bring me back to YouTube?
だから
Wait, come back! In truth, there are plenty of shows from the past year that I could have made videos about, hell, that I did start writing scripts for, only for those ideas to never fully develop. And in the meantime, I've been expressing my love for this medium through fan art, which has been awesome. But there are times where I do miss being able to better articulate my feelings than with a drawing, and My Dress Up Darling is just too damn good for me to sit by and not say something or anything about it. So, here we go. On an aesthetic level, it would be easy to pigeonhole My Dress Up Darling into this emerging pseudo-genre of rom-coms featuring a nice but quiet male lead, and a more outgoing or forward female lead where, for one reason or another, they find themselves drawn to each other. But for each show featured here, and including whatever ones you may be thinking of right now, you know they have more going on than just that. Each modifies or uses this setup in a way to give its story a unique appeal, and My Dress Up Darling is no different. The most obvious trait that makes this series unique is right on the tin.
コスプレ
With that in mind, it's not crazy to see why this series has garnered an immediate fan base in the international community. It's a hobby that's practically powered by anime, and even if you don't cosplay yourself, it's not hard to appreciate the immense effort that can go into pulling off these outfits and props. Fun side story, but me and my friends used to go to this local convention, you know, before the end times. And I had this one friend who cosplayed as Wolfwood from Trigun, and every year he would always gather up spare cardboard boxes and make his giant crossgun from scratch the first night of the con. So you have this inherent appreciation of effort and skill with the casual viewer, and at the same time you have the dedicated cosplayers who absolutely vibe with Marin's desire to feel closer to a character she truly loves through cosplay. The series immediately casts a wide but deep net with the substance to back it up for those who enjoy the subject matter, which is in part why I think My Dress Up Darling has immediately found a home in the anime community. Does it help that the female lead Marin is a Genki Gyaru? Oh, undoubtedly. Good character design can get you pretty far on its own, but our leading lady has excellent characterization to back that design up. The first indication of this is shortly after we're introduced to Marin and see her reaction to some wannabe no-name Chad fail at negging her. While awesome on its own, this reaction is spurred from Marin's Gyaru character. For those unaware, Gyaru is a style based on straying from typical beauty standards, instead opting for more niche styles. Essentially, Marin's love for anime is closely related to that Gyaru ideal, which makes this dude's insult all the more pathetic in her vision due to her character representing this philosophy pretty intimately. This of course primes her to appreciate other uniquenesses and be curious, if not excited, rather than judgmental, putting her at an apex of empathy shared only by the likes of Ted Lasso.
You can say that again.
Furthermore, this makes her pairing with Gojo a logical extension of her characterization, rather than because of some pre-existing infatuation or narrative happenstance. And of course Gojo, who is now constantly scared of the judgment his passion could incur, is beyond receptive to Marin's appreciation and responds in kind. And this makes up yet another facet of why I think this series found a wide audience. Being in the anime and manga circles, I'd wager most of us can relate to having our hobbies and passions raise a few eyebrows when we mention it to people who aren't as entrenched. I've definitely had that happen even with close family members who, while they respect my interest, I can tell still don't quite understand it, and often aren't eager to learn more about it. And that feeling of judgment, however light or in some cases self-imposed, has a really bad habit of lingering, at least in my experience. So finding someone who's not only willing to accept, but encourage your enthusiasm? Yeah, I feel like that's a fast track into the hearts of many in this community. And this is to say nothing of Gojo himself. Sure, he may be overpowered as fuck with the ability to sew, cook, and his borderline mastery of cursed energy. Wait, I think I got my notes mixed up. Anyway, Gojo is a creator through and through, and an anxious one at that. Something I definitely don't relate to on a personal level, no siree. We see how much of his well-being he sacrifices to succeed against a, as it turns out, self-imposed deadline. Again, something that I think will hit a little too close to home for any content creators who make their own hours and are their own bosses. Self-doubt often strays uncomfortably close to passion, and the series doesn't shy away from that side of the creative process. This also makes Marin the ideal person to work with Gojo. As someone who adores creators and creations, but is unable to make anything on her own, her unbridled support and enthusiasm is the perfect antidote to any doubts swirling around in his head. No strings attached, just raw appreciation of effort. There's something so simple yet wonderful about that side of her. When you take all of this and combine it with the other things My Dress Up Darling already does well, you have a recipe for an instant hit. Wholesome, horny, and everything in between, this could become a mainstay in the community, and it still has plenty of material left to adapt. Hey, it was enough to rip me away from my artistic arc for a quick video. And on that note, this isn't me announcing my comeback or anything. I don't know with what consistency I'll be able to make videos, but if you're still watching this, I just want to say thank you for sticking around. You are awesome. And I do definitely still have some ideas in the tank that should hopefully manifest sooner rather than later. We'll see. But I also definitely missed editing, which was another motivation to at least come back for a little bit. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this short foray into My Dress Up Darling, and feel free to let me know what you think about both it and the video. Thanks again, and I will see you all at some point.